Have you ever clicked buy now and just wondered about the magic that happens next? I mean, how does a package travel across a country, navigate a crazy city, and then somehow find your exact front door? Well, it's not really magic. It's actually a powerful invisible brain called a transportation management system, or TMS for short. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how this incredible system works. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow a single package from the moment you click buy. We'll start by looking at the absolute chaos of old-school logistics. Then we'll see how the system smartly plans the journey, finds the perfect route, and keeps an eye on everything in real time. After that, we'll tackle the toughest part, the last mile. And finally, we'll get a little glimpse into the fully automated future. Let's do it! You know, before systems like TMS came along, the world of shipping was, well, it was pure chaos. I want you to picture a dispatcher's desk just buried under mountains of paperwork. The phone is ringing off the hook, and they're trying to mentally juggle hundreds of orders, different truck sizes, and a ton of delivery deadlines. It was, frankly, a recipe for disaster and super costly mistakes. And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old way, total guesswork, endless phone calls, and my favorite, the super expensive problem of shipping air. Basically sending trucks out half empty. But on the right, that's the new way. A single, clean dashboard where powerful algorithms are calling the shots. The real change here is moving from just gut feelings to cold, hard, data-driven precision. Okay, so your package officially enters the system. The very first thing the TMS has to do is some really smart planning. It needs to answer one absolutely crucial question. What is the cheapest, fastest, and most reliable way to ship this specific thing? And believe me, the answer is way more complex than you'd think. So let's start with a little pop quiz for you. Take a look at these two packages. Which one do you think is going to cost more to ship across the country? At first glance, this feels like a trick question, right? They both weigh exactly 1 kilogram. One's full of iron nails, the other's got medical cotton. Same weight, should be the same price, right? Nope. Not even close. See, the problem isn't the weight, it's the space. That cotton takes up a ton of room in the truck, and this is where a really clever idea comes into play. It's called dimensional weight. Basically, shipping companies got wise to the fact that light, fluffy stuff like cotton was costing them money because it hogs all the valuable space in their trucks. So they invented a new way to price things. They charge you for the amount of space your package takes up, giving it a kind of volumetric weight. Now, get this. Here's the calculation, and it's pretty wild. That big box of fluffy cotton, which only weighs 1 kilogram on a scale, is actually billed as if it weighs over 31 kilograms. A TMS does this calculation in a split second for hundreds of different shipping companies to find the true best price. It's a perfect example of how the system sees hidden costs that a human would totally miss. But it gets even smarter. The TMS doesn't just pick the cheapest option, it also checks the carrier's on-time delivery score to make sure they're reliable. It can even start an automated auction, basically making carriers bid against each other for your business. And maybe most importantly, it's always looking to consolidate, to combine 5 small shipments heading to the same city into one big, much cheaper full truckload. Okay, so our package is now on a fully packed, cost-optimized truck. Awesome. But now comes the next challenge, figuring out the perfect path for that truck to take. And we're not just talking about getting from point A to B here. We're talking about solving a mathematical puzzle that is just mind-bogglingly complex. At the heart of all modern routing software is a famous mathematical challenge called the Traveling Salesman Problem. The goal sounds simple enough. Find the absolute shortest route that visits a list of cities and then returns home. The problem is, as you add more stops, the complexity doesn't just grow, it explodes. Just look at these numbers. With 5 stops, you or I could probably figure it out. There are 120 possible routes. But add just 5 more stops, and it jumps to over 3.6 million possible routes. And for a typical delivery driver making 20 stops, the number of possible routes is 2.4 quintillion. That's a 24 with 17 zeros after it. Your brain can't even comprehend a number that big, let alone solve for it. But an algorithm can, and it can do it in seconds. And here's the kicker. The best route is almost never the shortest one. The TMS algorithm is juggling dozens of other things at the same time, Like, can this customer only get deliveries between 7 and 9 a.m.? Is the truck about to get too full? Is there a low bridge on that street? It even considers wild stuff like minimizing left turns. That's a famous strategy UPS uses that saves them millions of gallons of fuel and, get this, prevents accidents. So, the system has calculated this absolutely perfect path. But what happens when that perfect plan smacks right into the messy, unpredictable real world? Our package is now on its way, but that journey is full of potential traffic jams, accidents, and breakdowns. The plan is great, but now the system has to manage it live in real time. This slide shows another huge leap forward. The old way was a dispatcher just constantly on the phone with drivers. Where are you now? What's your ETA? It was constant micromanagement. Modern systems use something called management by exception. If everything's going according to plan, the system is totally silent. It only pings you with an alert when something goes wrong. This frees up the human dispatcher to actually solve problems instead of just playing babysitter. So what does the TMS actually see? Well, through a bunch of sensors called Telematics, it's getting a constant flood of data. It sees fuel levels, which can help spot theft or just inefficient driving. It uses AI-powered dash cams to see if a driver is getting drowsy or texting. And of course, it's using GPS to constantly update the ETA. It can even send you a text automatically if your delivery is running a few minutes late. All right, our package has made it across the country. It's arrived at the local warehouse. We're on the home stretch. But now it faces the final hurdle, what everyone in the industry calls the last mile. This is that short little trip from the warehouse to your front door. And it is by far the most expensive and most complicated part of the entire trip. And this right here is the great paradox of modern delivery. That final, tiny little leg of the journey can eat up to half of the total shipping cost. I mean, half. Why? Well, think about it. It's one driver in a big truck trying to make dozens of small, inefficient stops in dense city traffic, dealing with parking, apartment buzzers, and elevators. It's a total logistical nightmare. Technology is really the only way to solve this mess. First up is dynamic routing. So if a new, super urgent order comes in, the AI can recalculate a driver's route right in the middle of their trip to slot it in perfectly. And second is crowdsourced delivery. During a huge Black Friday sale, instead of owning a giant fleet of trucks that just sit around for most of the year, the TMS can automatically start pinging gig economy drivers to handle the extra demand, scaling up or down in an instant. So we've seen how the TMS plans the trip, routes it perfectly, and manages it live. The final piece of the puzzle is seeing how all this stuff is coming together to create a future where the entire process pretty much runs itself, with almost zero human help. And this slide gives us a perfect peek into that future. A truck gets close to the warehouse, and its GPS signal crosses an invisible virtual fence, a geofence. That one little event triggers an entire chain reaction. The system status automatically flips to arrived. The warehouse staff gets an instant alert on their devices. Hey, get dock number 4 ready. Then, once the delivery is confirmed, a smart contract on the blockchain automatically pays the driver. No phone calls, no invoices, no delays, just seamless automation. You know, this quote just nails it. The TMS takes what used to be a chaotic job based on gut feelings and turns it into a precise, automated science. It really is the quiet, intelligent brain powering our entire world of online shopping. So the next time a box shows up on your doorstep with what feels like magical speed, take a second and think about the journey it took. What other invisible AI systems and crazy logistical ballets are happening behind the scenes, all working together just to make our convenient modern lives possible? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?